What's up?
Hello there.
Let's jump straight to it. We're talking about ending the state today. No playing around stuff.
All right, let's hop into it.
No. Okay, I'm just kidding, guys. I know everybody's waiting to hear from my witty repartee. So, how's everything going, Steph?
It's going good.
Life
ready
is
to hop
good?
into it.
You ready to hop into this? Were you familiar with this film prior to today's watching?
Yes, viewed it again.
Viewed it again. I saw it like 3 times to try to get a grasp on what was happening. Not that it's confusing, but
2 hours.
It's a very long movie. It takes a while. You got to watch it in stages. But we are talking about 1998's Enemy of the State. I'm about to say Enemy at the State. But this Enemy at the Gate, that's a different movie. We're not going to watch that one. But, 1998's Enemy of the State. An action thriller. So, I mean, it still fits with this season's theme, which is what, Steph?
Action movies.
When I said that, you should have said the theme is NBA, nothing but action.
Okay.
That's the official tagline for this season.
Okay.
We'll quiz you on it next week.
All right, here our summary. We have a lawyer who becomes the target of the NSA when he accidentally receives key evidence to a politically motivated crime. That's my favorite, IMDb.
From IMDb, we're back on the IMDb train. She left it alone for a season.
Well, you don't want to give too much away, you know?
So you're saying...
It's like the art of the preview. We talk about this now. Previews today, they tell you the whole movie.
What about the art of noise? Do you know about that?
Okay.
That's Moments in Love. Do you know that song?
What does it have to do with this?
Because you said the art of... What did you say? The art of
the preview.
Oh, preview.
Previews today.
I'm getting off subject.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
sorry.
Seems
Go
like
ahead.
They tell the whole movie. So, I like something that leaves you wondering.
Wanting more.
Yes, wanting more. There you go. Film facts, please. Or is it still my turn?
It could be. You want me to go ahead and jump into film facts, baby? I threw you off your
You threw me off. I'll go ahead.
Give us the stars of the movie.
Our stars, we have Will Smith. If you'd like to know more about him, you can go back and look at our Bad Boys episode or our Independence Day. So go look at both
Watch
of
both.
them. Watch both. Why not?
I had a Uncle Sam hat on for Independence Day. So go enjoy that. If you're a viewer, if you're a listener, imagine me wearing an Uncle Sam hat and a fake beard. Didn't it have a beard on it?
I think so. But you're getting off track.
Yeah, I'm getting off track again. But this is our third Will Smith movie. So
Hey, he's in a lot of movies.
He was.
But he plays Robert Dean. So go back and look up him. We have Gene Hackman who plays Will Smith.
Oh.
We have Gene Hackman who plays Edward Bril Lau. He was born January 30th, 1930, San Bernardino, California. He's an actor and a novelist, former Marine from what I found. He started acting... he was over 30 years old. In 1964, he was in a Broadway play called Amy Wednesday. I believe when he was began studying acting or whatever, Dustin Hoffman was his roommate at one point in 1967. Like okay. He got an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. And so he has an extensive... acting filmography, that's the word.
What did he did it have any big movies that was in? I know Gene Hackman been in a lot of stuff. I can't think about Gene Hackman.
So
I thought you had
extensive.
Written one down. Just leave it at that. It's
just
extensive.
a little bit about him. We have John Voight, born December 29th, 1938 in Yonkers, New York. He
that's
has
where the Rough Riders from.
Also an extensive career, over 100 actor credits from what I found. He began in the 60s as a television actor. His film debut was in 1967 in a movie called Fearless Frank. Never heard of it, but apparently it's a superhero comedy. The first time I remember him vividly was in the movie Anaconda.
Correct.
That was 1997. So that's my first time remembering, him in a movie. So very extensive.
Wasn't he
filmography.
supposed to be like a native in that movie or something? Because he wasn't speaking like straight English. I hope I'm not misremembering.
I don't think he was a native. I don't know I can't remember if he was playing an American.
No, he wasn't
character,
playing American. He was playing like a Panamanian or something. Wherever they were.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Where were they at?
Maybe so. I can't really remember.
John Voight. Go check out Anaconda.
Yes, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Maybe that's next season.
Okay. Next we have Regina King, who plays Carla Dean, so Will Smith's character's wife. Born January 15, 1971, Los Angeles, California. She began one of my favorite shows, if you haven't been here before, as Brenda in 227 in 1985.
Cue us singing 227 theme. There's no place like home. When your family's around you, you're never alone. When you know that you love, you don't need to roam. 'Cause there ain't no place like.
Better believe it.
There ain't no place like.
Better believe it.
There ain't no place like. There's no place like home.
I mean, no place, child. All right.
We're back.
So she also had a role in Boys in the Hood in 1991. Jerry Maguire. She entered the mainstream scene. She was, I believe, is it the Cuba Gooding's character's wife? Who's in Jerry Maguire? Ain't Cuba Gooding
He's
Jr.?
in it, but I couldn't tell you. That's not one of my
1996, Jerry Maguire. So maybe we can just go back and watch that one. 2019, she received the Academy Award for Best Performance in Supporting Role from an actress, of course, for If Beale Street Could Talk. And most recently, well, not most recently, but recently you have The Watchmen from 2019.
Excellent.
And then 2021, The Harder They Fall. She plays Trudy Smith.
Not so excellent.
Which they...
My sister daddy bully you.
Yes.
Look. What was the... I apologize. What was the other series did you say that she was in? She had a Netflix series.
The Watchmen? 2019.
No, that was HBO.
Oh.
Did she have one like where her son?
Yes. I can't remember, but her son, well, it's about police brutality, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Her son dies at the hands of police. Oh, I cannot. But it was very good, but I cannot recall it right now. Right here.
Yeah, we'll put it right here somewhere.
Okay. But yes, it was very good. A lot of people didn't like the ending, but I liked it. I don't know if we spoke about it on here before because it's what usually happens. You know?
Nothing happened to the police officers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. I get it, holding on to hope that, somebody's going to be responsible because that really happens when it comes to police. But, yeah, they told the story, but it was very well done. Last one we'll go over. Lisa Bonet plays Rachel Banks. She was born November 16th, 1967, San Francisco, California. Most notably, I would think, she played Denise Huxtable in The Cosby Show. That role also extended to A Different World. She had an extensive...
Was she on a season or something? Because I don't remember.
She was Denise there. Also.
Gotcha.
But I don't remember how many seasons. I didn't get that. But she has an extensive TV and film record. Also, apparently, directed music videos. She had directed the Let Love Rule video for Lenny Kravitz. I believe they were married at the time. And, she's, I guess, kind of taken a step back for many years from acting, it seems. I want to say she had a big gap before she starred in, she didn't really star in this movie, Enemy of the State. I think it had been a long time before she was in a movie before that role. But, you hear about her, but not very much, I guess, in mainstream acting. Yes, her daughter has had her breakout roles, and so.
Gotcha. I'll do a few film facts. Enemy of the State was shot on a $90 million budget between January and April 1998. It went on to make $250 million, or $250.8. I apologize for shorting you that.
Get it right.
at the box office, with 111 million of that coming domestically. It was directed by Tony Scott. This was Scott's 10th film. It's coming on the heels of Crimson Tide and The Fan, released in 95 and 96 respectively. He also did Deja Vu, Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, and Unstoppable with Denzel. Denzel was in his train phase.
That was all three, Deja Vu?
Yeah, those he did all three of those. And they were back to back. Yeah. And Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, and Unstoppable were both about locomotives. So I don't really know what Denzel was on. No, I don't know.
Or the director.
For
why he hopped on
two train movies back to back. The money was rolling in, you know.
When you have Denzel.
Yeah, I'm sure they made a lot of money.
Right.
Deja Vu may show up on this, and I want to say he did Man on Fire too. If not, I take it back, but I think he did Man on Fire as well.
Cool.
Anyway, this film pretty much still remains popular with a 70% rating on Rotten Tomatoes right now. It's also kind of popular and culturally relevant because of its themes surrounding surveillance and it being
very timely.
Well, ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Because this was 98. 9/11 obviously was, 3 years out. But everything that came on the heels of
Wait a minute. It was what?
2001.
Oh, this was 2001?
No, this was 98. I said 9/11 was 2001.
Yes.
Yeah, so 3 years removed from that. But I know, right? But it's funny that some of the critics, when they were reviewing the movie, were saying how implausible it was for the surveillance to be that detailed or whatever, just because of and their reasoning was the government is not that efficient, And it's like it depends on who they're or what their target is.
I'm about to say, who are these white men?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure.
What world?
There's not a lot of black film critics besides Gene Steph.
Well, that and in what world is the government not watching closely
and doing it very efficiently? But the NSA was. They were worried in the sense that I think the director who got hired after this kind of wanted to do his own PR campaign around the NSA to be like, we're not like that last Will Smith movie, So, and then the last thing, with the NSA, the big thing was the Edward Snowden whistleblower fiasco that was 2013.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it all came back around.
Wasn't too crazy,
and it was true. The NSA was spying on Americans and people abroad using your browsing history, telephone records and stuff like that. So that's why it's funny with the movie being, like I say, 3 years away from 9/11. Then, the Patriot Act and all this stuff came after the fact. But, it was pretty prescient, I suppose. So that's why it still remains relevant. And on rewatch, when we were watching it, I was thinking like, man, this is 98. My mind was like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
What the movie imagined is probably still far less than what they were doing.
And that's what
in 98.
One of the guys from The Guardian, who the publications that broke the NSA story with Snowden, was basically implying that movies like this kind of softened up the American public to make us ready for what to become. Not saying they did it because of it, but it's like you saw it on film, and like I say, people say, "Oh, it's implausible," so you don't think much about it. But they're gearing up to do it. So if you've already seen it on screen, it's already been happening. But
they're consulting somebody, y'all.
It's coming from somewhere.
This doesn't just come out of the blue, off the dome.
Couple 98 facts before we jump into the movie. The Super Bowl champs that year were the Broncos. The NBA champs were Jordan's Chicago Bulls. It was his sixth and final ring that year, 1998. In political news, just to make this all tie in together, 2 U.S. embassies were bombed in August of 98. They were in Africa. U.S. embassies in Africa. It was bombed, and it was tied to Al-Qaeda. So, like I said, to tie in with the movie, and Bril, Gene Hackman makes mention of Middle Eastern terrorists. And I don't know if he said Al-Qaeda directly, but he was, like the USA was funding them, giving them weapons. So it all ties in rather neatly if you think about it. But that was a big thing that this happened in 98. So obviously it happened after the film was already in production. But the U.S. they indicted Osama bin Laden at the time. I don't know what that does for somebody who's abroad. But yeah. In less serious political news, 98 was also the year that Bill Clinton, he was named Time Person of the Year that year, and he was impeached for being improper with a 22-year-old Monica Lewinsky, which he uttered the famous line, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman." He was lying. They impeached him. And to tie it all together, it was also the year that 1998 was the year that the R&B trio Knicks released Too Close, and it shot up the Billboard Hot 100 tracks. So 98 was a good year for sexual assault and being proud of it.
Okay, what was that?
Jump into the movie, Steph.
All right, so it opens up. We're in a park in Maryland. We have a congressman, Chairman Hammersley, who is meeting the head of the NSA, the National Security Agency, Thomas Reynolds, who's played by John Voight. And Reynolds, the head of the NSA, wants this new surveillance act passed, right? They want more surveillance, want more freedom to expand their surveillance. So the congressman is he gets killed basically. Reynolds has, what I guess you say, one of his henchmen come to kill, his goons to kill the congressman. They try to make it look like, I believe it was maybe like an overdose. I want to say they sprinkled the pills about, and his car goes into the lake. They didn't kill a dog.
Good.
That's one thing about.
They may kill a dog, but they're not going to kill a golden retriever. You kill a golden retriever, man, the folk are going to be on you.
The dog.
That is top tier American
survived.
dog there. Yes, the dog survived.
And then we are taken to a law office, and we're introduced to Will Smith's character, Robert Dean. He's apparently a Washington labor attorney, which I thought that was interesting that they just decided, that was going to be the type of attorney. Like
labor,
yeah, you don't really. I'm sure there's a lot of corruption in the labor market, but
this role was obviously written for a white man also.
Because his name is Robert Dean.
Robert Dean. And just his general activities that he's into, you can tell it's like, okay, let's... Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know how people live in D.C.
I don't know any
or
Deans.
Baltimore. I know some.
You do?
Yeah.
Who?
This guy played ball here, Brandon Dean.
He's from the South, or
he's from Ouachita Parish.
Okay. I didn't know if you meant like college.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know anybody named Dean. But anyway, so we go to this restaurant. Robert Dean, Will Smith's character, meets up with a Rachel Banks, played by Lisa Bonet. Apparently, they have a complicated history, we'll say.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
She's an ex-girlfriend, and she's providing, or she has a source for information for him. So, he's already meddling in something he shouldn't, when you have to get sources and you have to meet at a restaurant and pass the envelope, something's going on. But he wants to meet her source. Of course, she says, no, you got to go through me. And he gives her $10,000, so, he appears to be doing well, $10,000 in 1998.
There's probably at least 75,000 in today's money.
And the next thing, we go to this social club, Pintero Social Club, and apparently it's under FBI surveillance already. And so Dean threatens
Pintero.
Thank you. He threatens Pintero with a video. Apparently Pintero was not supposed to contact union officials. Remember, he's a labor attorney, Will Smith's character, as part of his parole condition. So he's already, been in trouble before. And he threatens, to release the tape, to the authorities.
This will prove useful. You just stay tuned for Act 3.
The video comes back. So we get, basically a look into Dean's work, what he does.
He's a good guy, but he's meddling in the
affairs.
affairs.
Some on the side. He does
what?
what was it? Bad Boys. Do what you have to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was getting the job done. I thought you were talking about the illicit affair.
Huh?
I thought you were talking about Dick. I mean, he's not a good guy in that regard for cheating on Regina
Well,
King.
is he a good guy in this at all?
I mean, he's stepping up to the mob, baby.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're back at the congressman. He's a congressman. I have senator. Is that a congressman? I didn't take civics. I don't know.
We'll put a chart here.
He's some member of government, the one that was murdered. We're his residence, and the news crew is there. Across the lake, we see a photographer, videographer grabbing his equipment, and he's taking a videotape of his own out of camcorder that was nicely pointed towards the whole crime scene, you know. But all the lawmen out there kind of see him like, what's he doing over there? So they radio in and like, hey man, check out this guy. We need to get some eyes on him. Get those whirlybirds in the sky or whatever police talk is. And then that radio call is intercepted by the NSA and Jack Black and Seth Green. They work at the NSA. But it's intercepted, and Jack Black tells John Voight, who we assume is the captain, commander. I don't know their titles. He's the head NSA guy. John Voight is. They tell him that this whole murder thing that he did was caught on tape probably, so let's do something about that. Voight, he starts to set in motion the whole plan to catch the photographer and take the videotape from him. I don't know. It seems very... He put a lot of steps in place to get this tape from this guy when it's like, you could just show up at his regular job, because he was like a news reporter or something, and just like hit him over the top of the head and take it. But he sends the same goons who did the murdering in the first scene. He sends those guys to get the tape. They chase him. They got the videographer guy escapes from them. He knows they're coming. I don't even remember how, but he's smart enough to get away from them. He runs out of his little hidey hole and happens to bump into Will Smith, who is now in a lingerie store being very weird, buying his wife something. Once again, this was not written for Will Smith. I can tell you this now. It was like he's playing coy. I don't know what's going on in this scene. Well, and I don't know why it had to be a lingerie store.
Yeah, I would say that, like, I guess, like, why, but whatever, here we are.
He's in a lingerie store buying things. I guess he's Christmas shopping, because this is another Christmas movie. What are we? Action,
movies, love, the holidays.
Christmas. So he's Christmas shopping. He's getting his wife something. The videographer guy, and I don't know his name, but he's the guy who caught the murder on film. Let's just call him videographer number one. He runs in, sees Will Smith, and they're like, hey, what's up, buddy? We went to college together. Yeah, it's me. Hold on. I got to get out of here, man. I'm kind of busy right now. And Will Smith never stopped to say, why are you so sweaty right now, man? What's going on?
Not his business. Yeah.
Well, not his business. But he gives him a business card to say, hey, it looks like you may be in trouble. If any of that trouble
you concerns too hard,
labor, I'm your guy.
Yes.
And here's the card. And the guy says, thanks, Will Smith, Robert Dean. But he conspicuously slips the videotape that he's running with to keep away from John Voight. He slips into Will Smith's shopping bags, and he exits stage left. Still is running away from the two henchmen. He jumps over some barriers and gets flattened by a truck, wrapping up that nice loose end. So they think. But they didn't, because the tape is gone, and they are mad about that, but they find what, Steph? Robert Dean's business card. I don't know how this is even important to them at the time to check his pockets for a business card, but they do. And they put two and two together and said, Robert Dean knows something.
I guess. Yeah, and then you spell it out. I guess they said we're going to contact anybody who may have had contact with him.
Yeah.
And it was an attorney.
They went old school. They had, they have all this fancy dancy, surveillance stuff, but they also put boots on the ground and chase people to their deaths. They do it the old school way.
Kill people. Okay. So then we meet Robert Dean's family. So Will Smith's character's family. We're introduced to his wife, Carla, played by Regina King, and their son. Carla is a civil rights attorney. So this family is doing very well.
Very well.
she's actually watching the news. They're talking about, the government surveillance, and she calls them fascists. Wait a minute. What is
Fascist.
it? Fascist. Thank you. I knew I said that wrong. But anyway, you hear that term, which it's been around. But like you said, nothing is too far-fetched in this movie.
I say it all the time. I don't even know what it means. But
Okay.
if they don't get my order right at Chick-fil-A, which is a lie. I'm just making this up on the spot. Let me take, not Chick-fil-A. You always get your order right there. There are no fascists there. But Burger King is full of fascists.
All right.
I'm sorry. I keep throwing you off your game.
Yes,
I apologize.
Stop interrupting me.
Okay, that was my last
So
time.
the NSA finds out about Dean's history with Rachel Banks, who was played by Lisa Bonet, and they decide that they are going to pose as officers. They show up at Dean's house, and
pull the whole Home Alone routine.
Yeah, trying to ruffle his feathers. He asked them, do they have a warrant? This is an attorney, which is like,
they
y'all
knew
saw
he was
the car.
attorney,
Exactly.
right? Like,
he's gonna know that
ask that question first, but
exactly.
Whatever.
And if he does assert his rights, that doesn't mean that he's done anything wrong, But they're not happy about that.
Always so interested in movies like this. Like, they're obviously, not bound to any kind of code of ethics. They'll kill somebody. They'll make you run into your own death, hit by a truck. But if you say, I want a warrant, they're like, he got us. We'll be back, buddy.
You gotta be doing something.
Well, it's just like they let it go. It's like, you already crooked. Just go ahead and kill Robert Dean while you're at it.
Yeah.
If I was in their shoes, in their murderous shoes, I would just go ahead and get rid of them.
Yeah. So before they leave, they actually bring up Rachel, which he's like irritated, I guess you could say, because like how do you know about her? And he already knows he's passing this lady $10,000 when they meet in this, he like
in front of my
restaurant.
Wife?
So, yeah. And so the NSA decides, since I guess he isn't being cooperative, that they're going to go after his credibility. That's what the NSA says they're going to do. Yeah.
So they get into Operation Turn His Life Upside Down. And I kind of mean it almost literally, because they go in and they tear up his stuff. But I really don't know why they're putting in all this effort, because once again,
why are they so sure that?
Well, it's like, okay, I get it. You want to destroy his credibility just in case he blabs. But once again, you could just kill him. And then this movie would have been 30 minutes long. You're wasting a lot of time. I need to work for the NSA. Anyway, they put bugs and trackers, all sorts of $1 million devices on this guy. They track him down to a boathouse. He's a rower. Once again, this was not written for a black man. There are no black people who row.
I don't know.
Well, they probably made a row on the way over here, but no, like as a hobby, no. Anyway, so they track him down, put more bugs inside his clothes, inside the boathouse. They're sticking bugs to him because they need to know his whereabouts. They're canceling credit cards, and they're doing too much, if you ask me. He gets fired because now his Rachel Banks business is all in the streets. They've released it. It's on the front page of the Baltimore Times. I don't know the newspaper, but
what in Washington?
Well, it's Baltimore and Washington. They're like right across the.
Oh, okay. Keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
Excuse me.
Stop interrupting me.
Oh,
yeah. He gets kicked out of the house as well because his wife sees the Rachel Banks thing. He told her he had left her alone. He did not. He was out passing $10,000 to her in a restaurant in broad daylight. That's his own fault, if you ask me.
Well,
who took the picture?
Well, even more so. Well, he shouldn't have been with her anyway. But it's like she's the only one that can get what you need out of all the people.
I think did she ask him that? Didn't his wife say that? Like
it may
Robert,
have been. Yeah.
Like
it's like really, but
hey, she's good at what she does. I
conflict.
Guess. Yeah, she knows Bril, and that's which is funny. His life is turned upside down because of this Rachel woman. But he goes back
because of his decision.
Let's calm down.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's
upside down because he turned it upside down.
Whoa.
Yes.
Because of Rachel.
No.
He's all messed up.
He's messed up.
Whoever's at fault.
Him. Thank you.
He goes to meet her a third time. He needs to meet her to find Bril now because he knows something's going on. He's being tracked. All sort of shenanigans have been afoot. She tells Will Smith about how she usually contacts Bril. It's this whole convoluted thing. She leaves a mark on the mailbox and taps 3 times on the door, whatever. But she tells him that she usually meets him on the ferry. Or that's where he makes his pickups, and this would be the best way to find Bril. Will stays out there. He's scoping the scene. He goes to the restroom, and he's approached by a random white man. And Will Smith says, "Hey, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Are you Bril?" And the dude is like, "Yeah, sure." And then they leave together. So Will and Bril leave in a taxi cab because Bril is this what do you call it? Hermit, I guess.
Yes, I think that's
she told
accurate.
him he works by himself. He doesn't have people. He lives alone. He has a cat. I don't know if they tell him that, but he does have a cat. So nonetheless, they're riding, and Will starts to get bad vibe because there's a Dodge Ram following them and driving erratically. And the guy who's driving him in the cab, Mr. Bril, is acting very nervous, and he's on the radio. And then Will says, "Hold up, man. I thought you didn't have no people." And the dude was like, "Man, shut up. I ain't Bril." He tried to shoot Will Smith. But Will Smith is an action hero. He said, "Get that out of here." So at this time, the Dodge Ram runs them off the street. Will Smith knows he's not with a real Bril, but he sees the guy who ran them off the street, which is Gene Hackman. Will goes home. Well, he's kicked out, so he doesn't go home. He goes to his hotel room. But he's making a call, and that's when Gene Hackman shows back up. And he says, "This guy's following me. What do you want?" But Gene Hackman pulls out the tool, said, "Get in the elevator, Will Smith." And he has a gun to his back, and they go all the way to the roof. And Bril is pretty much telling him that he's stupid. "You stupid for contacting me. You stupid for getting caught. And you stupid for thinking." Oh, I guess Will Smith thinks this is all the mob after him because of his whole Pintero situation.
Yeah.
And Bril says, "No, you fool. Do you think they would have bugs on you?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Check your shoes, check your watch, check your drawers." And there's 3 helicopters like circling the building, and Will Smith still doesn't get it. Bril gets out of there. He skedaddles and leaves Will to his own devices, literally and figuratively, I suppose, because he has bugs all over his person. They're on his coat. They're in his shoes. They're on his phone, in the watch. This is a hilarious scene. In a pen. They did put it in a ballpoint pen. Hilarious scene because they're using 1998 technology to make us believe that he's being tracked. So it's like a Windows 98 computer with horrible graphics, but it's like pinpointing Will like to the millimeter where he is in the
like Pac-Man screen.
Yes, exactly. But hey, man, for the time it probably looked excellent. But they're tracking Will. He makes his escape by burning down the building, essentially. Well, he didn't burn it down, but he runs from the guy. He's half naked also. Once again, it's not real for a black man. A half-naked black man running through a hotel with a drew suspicion 2 floors up.
He wouldn't have made it down.
He wouldn't have made it to the roof, first and foremost. Let's start there. Now, buddy, are you supposed to be here? That's when he's going to get asked that, but when he walks into the lobby. So, anyway. He runs, and I say all that. He's running from the henchmen. They are back. Those 2 guys. The NSA had sent them, which I don't know why. Now that they were doing all this secretive stuff, but now they're out in the open.
Why would you do this at this major hotel?
Just kill him at home. They're at the hotel. I guess because they knew Bril was there. And they go like 2 birds, 1 stone situation. Anyway, Will Smith, action heroes his way out of this and makes a diversion by setting the hotel on fire. And he gets out of there.
Yes. So we are at Reynolds' residence, the NSA head, played by John Boyd. And
that's his name.
Okay. Says they want to raise the stakes because he's trying to be the deputy director, apparently. So, he doesn't want this to come out. You wouldn't want this to come out, period, if you were killed somebody and then you're trying to kill the people who have the evidence of it.
Right.
But he's trying to be deputy director. And Dean, Will Smith, visits his wife, what was he like in their garage or
Yeah,
shed in behind
I think
the
it was
house?
I think it was a detached garage.
Yeah, and so he's charming her. She's wearing the lingerie, so we're back to that. That's how they tied in the lingerie. She's wearing the lingerie that he bought
Or untied it.
There you go. She was supposed to wait for Christmas, so he's charming her. Blah blah blah. So he sees the lingerie, then he has an epiphany about the shopping bag. I'm assuming he's thinking, well, that's the last time I saw the dude.
What's his name? I don't know. Videographer
Yeah,
guy.
that had the video. And he asks her, about it. So he gets the video game from his son because apparently he had the video game in the bag also. So if it wasn't in the lingerie, he knew that was the only other thing. I'm assuming he knew that was the only other thing in the bag.
It wasn't explained in detail how this light bulb moment happened.
So he ends up hiding in the back of the family station wagon while the
Hispanic maid.
Essentially maid was taking the children.
I guess she's a nanny
or nanny to taking
caregiver.
All of those, yes. But she was taking him and his friend to school. So Will Smith is hiding in the back, talking to his son, and he gets the game from him. And of course, the tape is in there. The son thinks the game doesn't work, and that's why, because it wasn't a game.
It wasn't a game. It was the evidence.
It was the evidence.
Boy.
So Dean finds Rachel dead, basically in the next scene. In her apartment. Why he was going to her, I don't know what he was looking for and going back. I don't know, maybe he was looking for the connection to Bril again. Thought she had some answers. Can't stay away.
I can't quite remember why he went back. Yeah,
right. And I want to say Bril told him to stay away from her.
Did. That was his parting word when he was on the roof. He said, "Get out of here, you stupid, and stay away from Rachel, you idiot." Yes. My words, not Gene Hackman.
So it's clear he's being framed, right? So they actually end up killing her. He sees
once again, murder is not above them. We see this.
Oh, talking about why are you trying to kill everybody?
You killed this innocent lady who did nothing but take $10,000 from Robert Dean. She's dead.
Yes, she has no knowledge.
She doesn't know anything
of the tape.
And you let Will Smith get out of your grasp because you were too slow. You sent the wrong henchman to chase down Will Smith. Y'all didn't know who y'all was going after?
They didn't. But yeah, his clothes are everywhere. Assuming some of the clothes they got when they, ransacked his house. So they spread that everywhere. And he's, getting out, of course, because you need to leave. Somebody's dead. And on the way out, he sees a picture of what appears to be Bril and Rachel when she's younger. So he ends up meeting up with Bril again.
How did he contact them? I can't even remember. That's neither here nor there. Go ahead.
They travel for a little way, and again he disobeys Bril. Dean gets on a payphone, at a gas station. I guess Bril was picking up a snack, restaurant, whatever. But he left Dean unattended, and he decides to get on a payphone. The call is traced by the NSA. By the time they get there, they're gone, but they, of course, request to see
you got to see cameras, the videotape,
right? And so Dean and Bril, they go to a Baltimore warehouse, and we find out that Bril apparently worked for the NSA, so he has a lot of knowledge about how these people work. That's why he's so antsy. Apparently, he knows what they can do, what they're capable of doing. The NSA ends up finding them. They track them to this warehouse. I'm not exactly sure how they tracked them, to that warehouse, but I guess maybe the car or something. Maybe they, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't recall.
I think Will Smith didn't have no bugs on him.
But they get there, and Bril ends up having to bomb the building, as they get away because he has computers and everything. I don't know why he didn't have cameras to see the grounds. I don't remember.
He wasn't thinking anybody was going to lead the
That's
NSA
true.
back
He
to
was
his,
not expecting
hideaway.
To run into Dean at some point in his life, right?
So he just burned it all like Nino did to Carter.
They realized, Dean and Bril, that, they are all that each other has, basically, right? Rachel's
Ebony and
dead.
Ivory.
Yeah, the
making
NSA
sweet
is now
harmony.
coming for both of them. And so they end up stealing their Mercedes. Mercedes just sitting around.
B12 being,
exactly.
as Pimp C would say.
So they get away again. So they're still together.
Yes. And this is the part where they're doing this is when Will Smith, he shines, he eats up the camera time when he's playing buddy cop role. So they're just doing a little banter back and forth, Oh, you old grumpy old man. They're doing what he and Tommy Lee Jones did in Men in Black. So the movie didn't know where it wanted to go at this point, but it was enjoyable. It was
2 hours long.
It was 2 hours long, and it could have been an hour and a half would have sufficed. But the NSA does have Bril's info, the whereabouts, and all that now, and they recognize that he's a problem. Bril and Will get together and they formulate a plan of their own. It's mostly Bril's plan. Will is just there for the ride. I really don't know how to explain it, so try to stick with me. I know I'm just talking anyway. That's what I do, but this is a very convoluted plan that Bril has put together. There's a lot of crosses and double crosses, so stick with me. He bugs another congressman's or senator or representative or whatever. He bugs his hotel room. He leaves cameras and stuff behind, but he does it in a way so the cameras and bugs will be found. He doesn't want it to be discreet. He wants them to be found. They have, then they do he does the same at Jon Voight's house. How does he get into Jon Voight's, the acting captain of the NSA's house? I don't know. He just walks up to the door and the housekeeper lets him in. So everybody is lax on their security in 1998. So you asked how did Bril not have cameras around his house? How did the NSA captain, director guy not have safeguards in place? And how did Bril know where he stayed?
He's part of the NSA at one point.
Oh, well, there it is. So he then starts to bring Jon Voight's infidelity and stuff to light, counsel his card like he did Will Smith. Now he flipped it back on him. So it's like, boom, take that, Jon Voight. Now your business in the street. So all this happened. This is all set up so the Jon Voight will call or get in. Well, Bril is going to call Jon Voight and he's going to set up a meeting. This was all to get Jon Voight to meet up with him. So he did all of this stuff just to set up a meeting because he knew Jon Voight had already got him with the cross. Now he double crossed him. He flipped it back on him. He put his game down, flipped it, and reversed it. Is what I'm trying to say. So now the double cross ends up getting triple cross at the meetup because Jon Voight knows that he's being watched by Will and Bril. So he's just kind of like stalling Bril out. Bril is dressed as a cop at this moment. Really doesn't have any bearing, but where's he getting his outfits from? Did he always plan to do? Thank you, Steph. He's former NSA. Bril, let me bag up. Also hilarious. Well, hilarious and pressing, I guess, once again. When he was tracking down the senator's whereabouts, the one that he bugged, he was typing in the ESN numbers on his cell phone. It was like, hey, nobody knew that in 1998 what an ESN number was. So it's like they were pulling this from somewhere. But Bril was doing this on a MacBook One or whatever the first version of Apple's computer was. It's like, let's be serious. There's no 5G. How are you connected to that? It's not even the internet.
They had what we didn't have.
Maybe so. Let's flash back. Bril is talking to Jon Voight. They're discussing what it's going to take to make this all over. Bril, he tells Jon Voight an amount of money that'll make it all go away, but he also wants to know why he killed Rachel. Voight is like, whatever, man. She had to go. Get out of my face with that poppycock nonsense. But once again, Voight is just stalling because he knows that he's being, he knows that this is a triple cross. So they run upstairs. Will is upstairs watching this whole thing. He's supposed to be recording, but they get him and they get Bril, throw him into the back of a van with Seth Green and Jack Black. They're back. And then they shoot, Jon Voight shoots Bril in the hands. Like, tell Will Smith to tell me where the tape is. Once again, this tape. Everybody's looking for the tape. This is setting up the quadruple cross because Will Smith has a smart plan. He says, your tape is at Pintero's. I told you it would come back. He's doing it with the quadruple cross because it's very, very nebulous what tape could mean. Who knows what tape? But luckily, Pintero is expecting somebody to come to him to talk about the tape.
Yes. They
go back to Pintero's, what's it called? Social Club. Back to Pintero's Social Club. Will, John Voight, and the henchmen all head into the social club. Gene Hackman is still outside. Now time for the fifth cross. Gene Hackman knows that all is just being watched by the FBI. I don't know if Steph said it, but Pintero is under surveillance by the FBI. Mm-hmm. So the FBI is watching this whole thing.
Who are these people?
Bril is dressed as a cop, so he's drawing attention to himself purposely. Because once again, this is what's 5? Quadruple is 4. What's 5?
I don't know.
The Pentecostal cross. So they're inside. John Voight is asking about his tape. Pintero's like, you give me the tape. And everybody's like, hold up, what is this tape stuff you talk about? It's a bit confusing. If it wasn't so serious, it would be hilarious.
If it's a thriller.
It would be a hilarious scene because give me my tape. You give me my tape. Hey, it's like a who's on first situation. So they're doing this. A Mexican standoff ensues. Everybody's pointing guns at each other. And nobody's backing down. Gary Busey's son, who's also in this movie, I don't know his name, he busts in the back door like, hey, put your hands in the air. Don't know what that was going to accomplish, but it sets off a chain reaction and everybody is violently murdered. Wrapping up all Will Smith's loose ends. So, I mean, bravo for him because he crawls under a table which protects him from all of the flying bullets. It's awesome. So everyone's dead. FBI bust in. Boom. Hey, what's going on here? There's dead bodies everywhere. Who is this black guy in this nice coat? Oh, that's Will Smith. Get him out of here. And Will Smith leaves. He can't find Bril, but it doesn't matter because everyone is dead. Nobody knows anything about the tape.
Witnesses.
Rachel is gone, and he's no longer an enemy of the state.
Ta-da!
That is it. Did you catch all of that at the end?
I did.
I did not.
They wrap it up quickly.
It was like, what are we doing?
They wrap it up quickly at the end.
Gene Hackman.
So would you watch it again?
I would not. This is a 2-hour-long movie. I had to watch thrice for homework. It is 6 hours of my life that I won't get back. It's not a bad movie.
It's not.
The 2 hour does. I mean, it kind of goes by. It has its parts, but nothing just really drags, I guess. But it could have been shorter.
Yeah, always. But
and none of you're watching it with 2023 eyes. So some of the stuff, obviously, it's like, oh, this could have changed. This could have changed. But for 98, it had suspense. It was a thriller. Mm-hmm. It had
apparently ahead of its time.
Yeah, made $250 million. Yes, it was very ahead of time.
It gave everybody, like you said, it made how much?
$250, 111 in the U.S. So
he was, I guess you'd say, in action.
Oh, he was definitely a star by this time.
So
Bad Boys had already been out. I'm sure Men in Black had been out by this time too. Yeah,
I'm not sure what that was. 98.
This was 98, so Men in Black was like 96, I believe.
Okay, well,
Bad
definitely.
Boys was what, 94?
Makes sense.
I'm just throwing it like you have a computer on your brain. Huh?
But you can go back and watch the Bad Boys.
Go back and watch the Bad Boy episode
and know for sure.
And the Independence Day, which was 1996. So yeah, Will Smith was a bona fide star at this point. And,
he was back to back. He had movies back to back.
I mean, they had everybody. John Voight, he had 100 movies apparently. So you say Gene Hackman got another 100. So that's at least 200 fans.
Yeah, big
even
names.
If one person that don't see those movies. Yeah, big name. Regina King. I don't know if she was a big name outside of black households, but they had a nice little cast, man. But I wouldn't watch it again. It was enjoyable, I suppose, for what it was. It was cool to see all the 1998 technology, man. At work. Stop spying on us, government. How about that? How about we do that?
Good luck.
What
were they?
And we'll wrap it up at this point. But the other hilarious part while watching it is, Regina King's character and some more characters in the movie, I think the senator, whatever, were so concerned about, snooping and what are they doing with our information stuff. It's like, now we just give it away. We just give, whatever.
Well,
we would yell and talk to any device that they sell us and just say, we give them everything and nobody has to ask. John Voight does not have to come put a gun in your back for you to tell him all your secrets. So maybe we should stop doing that. We're talking about the government taking things. How about we just stop giving them things? You don't need that package 2 days early. You don't need it. You don't need it that bad. Opt out of something. Stop being weird.
I think we're too far gone.
Oh, definitely at this point. I don't even fight it anymore.
You just say,
it's whatever. You remember exactly. That's what I'm about to say. All the days when you first got into computers and stuff, like, I'm going to read this entire agreement because I could be telling Apple that they could have my firstborn child. And now it's like, I don't care. I really need to use this piece of software and I will accept all your terms and agreements.
Cookies, terms, conditions.
Every website is offering me cookies. Stop. Stranger danger website.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't know. Sure. If I reject it, can I still come and look at these sneakers?
Yes.
Is it an option? I don't know.
Like Uber and stuff. Like, yes, we had taxis, but they weren't like private contractors. And we see with Uber and Lyft and all that, it's like
and
little protections.
They jump into your data too.
Yeah, everybody. It's always a third party breach. It seems like every month, there was a breach. And it's like, who is this company? It's the company that actually handles your security for the company you
and they say, hey,
purchase
how about,
things from.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. How about we send you a check for $2.10?
Well,
would they make it all right?
We'll give you some credit monitoring. Okay. Yeah. Well, I had hoped that this was coming. But here we are.
Yes.
And I don't
Stop giving information away.
Can get out.
Go watch Enemy of the State. I guess that's it, man.
That's it. Till next time, y'all.
Peace.